is a personal favorite. Does this make me sound extra weird? Possibly. Possibly. Is that the weirdest thing I said today? No. Am I gonna die here? Yes. Every time. Yes. This is a girl on my TikTok. We've been talking a lot lately, and she is fucking. I'm telling you guys, you don't know what you're missing until you miss it. Now, what I'm gonna do is increase my defense and my defense percent and get to the maximum. Oh, I'm also gonna increase my torn damage, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do, yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotta tell her how I feel. I gotta make her the best love song. Yeah, 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 yeah. And now I got the whole city young. Oh no. Why? Because I decided to do so. And I need to make some coin because soon I'm gonna have a tournament. That's as soon as after this video, by the way. After this video we do a tournament and I need to be the best. Well, what am I saying? The best is it makes you think. You're just watching a show about the good place and it makes you think about do I really want to be the best? Because if I'm the best, that means that somebody else isn't as good as me. And if somebody else isn't as good as me, then I'm taking the place of somebody that's possibly more deserving, which is one of shitty thing. So this is really cool because shitty learned the secret of Eleanor. It's like, dude, I don't know what to do here. You're taking the place of somebody that's deserving. There's a mistake here. This is not truly heaven. And shitty is in self-sacrifice because his soulmate is possibly not Eleanor because Eleanor doesn't belong here. So he has sacrificed his happiness for a person that's clearly a shitty person. Shitty. So yeah, so this is super cool. We show that she cannot swear, so she say fork and she say f this. We learned that Eleanor's job was basically to be a fraud, to sell medicine that's not medicine to old people that are senile and have multiple issues. Mm-mm-mm. That is not a good thing, Eleanor. So we appreciate that she's a bad person, and this is cool because Shitty is like, okay, well, you possibly don't belong in heaven. You possibly not a great person, but I doubt that you're a horrible person. However, Eleanor proved that she is not only a horrible person, but there's no saving, which is the plot of the first episode. She has a dilemma. Can I save you, right? And is there a chance for you to earn your place? And at the first episode, he said that no, there's no place. She's self-absorbed, she's selfish, she doesn't care about anybody but herself. She is truly disgusting. Now, what I like here is we got Kristen Bell with short hair, another one of my crush, saying, oh, I got a text from my papa. And then in the throwback, she has long hair. I gotta say, I do like me a girl with long hair. You're just gonna put it out there, low key, high key, whatever you want, as the kid would say. So she did establish that there's no saving Kristen. We are having Janet, which is a program that's super important. Janet is the equivalent of Google on health. Why is she important? Because she's a system. And that's the craziest thing. It is the craziest thing. So there's a guy, Michael, who creates who creates a good place. Now Michael acts as three things: the judge, the lawyer, the executioner. He acts at all of these. Janet is truly neutral. She's a program that's helping you, that's guiding you through this place called the good place. Now, why is this more important than Michael? Michael, if you're doing something correct, is your best friend. However, we're trying to avoid authority because we established that Eleanor is not a good person, you know? And because she's not a good person, well, she doesn't belong there. So Janet is gonna be the neutral person and the good place that Eleanor's need. Is that cool? Is that good? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Me asking for engagement, of course. And that's pretty much it. This is super cool. Shitty is completely different, and he's like, yo, I deserve my place. And the coolest thing with Shitty is, I understand why he's pissed off. He deserves his place. He had a good life. He had a pious life. He was a person that gave a lot, and he deserved his place and a good place when Eleanor doesn't. So there's kind of an injustice, right? You get the party in real life, you get the party after death. I don't think so, Missy. My apology. Oh, Ing, please, this is disgusting. Come on, Brett. Yes, I talk to myself a lot. We meet the neighbor, which is Gianti, and I forgot your name. I'm so sorry, but this is a neighbor, and this the people that have the biggest of houses, which is kind of funny because they're the opposite of Eleanor and she, and there's four main characters, and these are the four main characters. Now, I will tell you a spoiler, okay? A little bit of spoiler. Um, her, she's actually a really good person. She is actually a good person. Her husband or boyfriend or soulmate isn't. Shady is a good person, Eleanor isn't. Yeah. There's a huge spoiler I could give you. Should I give it to you? I don't know. So, okay, so they're going up to a party. Eleanor is a piece of crap, a piece of shirt. But what she does is she steals. She is mindful about the food. For example, they're offering shrimps for everybody, and she takes it almost the whole plate, which is kind of selfish. And they're having everybody. And of course, it didn't pay for nothing because this is heaven. But at the same time, she's insulting the hosts. So pretty bad behavior. And at the end, we got this is super cool. This is good. She apologized to she, which is the first instance of Kristen Bell. So the Kristen Bell characters, I want to talk about it, right? Because otherwise it's very hard to understand. The Kristen Bell character is at the lowest. So the show is about morals, right? Kristen Bell is at the lowest point of moral. She has very very little to low moral. The whole show is about becoming a better person, right? You got to taste heaven. You deserve to stay in, right? So that's pretty much it. So they wake up, and there's a freaking storm, and this is freaking cool because a couple of things, right? Eleanor mentioned Ariana Grande because we're listening to the Ariana Grande. She talks to the host of the party, which is her neighbor, and calls her a giraffe. So you see giant giraffe. She stole shrimp. So you see in the air, you're seeing shrimp flying. So everything that she does that was kind of bad is affecting the good place. Now, the good place, the plot of the first episode is because Eleanor doesn't belong there, it's fucking up with the system. The system recognizes that there's an intruder. So the system will act like your body, right? So your body will act normally, and then when you discover there's a illegal body in your body, which is, for example, a sickness, your white cell is gonna attack it. If I remember correctly. So Eleanor is not allowing the system to work properly because it's detecting an intruder. This is pretty much it. Now, there's something really cool. Everybody is dressed with yellow and black stripe, right? Except for Kristen. So this means that guess what? She is not there. She's fucking up the whole thing.
You hog on shrimp and other shrimp like listen, Eleanor, you don't belong here.
This system sucks. It's gone. Everyone who was perfect but wasn't terrible should get
There you go.
to eternity in Cincinnati.
There's a couple of jokes there. But yeah. So she is like, yo, you don't belong here. I wish it worked, but it's not working. And at the same time, this episode is good because she is a good person, but he's not a saint, right? So he won't be like, yo, I don't think you don't belong here. We'll do everything in our power to say, hey, can we actually help you? Then he realized there's no helping her, so he kind of gave up. And I hate to say it, but I deserve it. It's kind of deserved. So this is for this episode. Next episode, which is, however, this episode, which is, I Wanted to Fly. We have a recap. So basically what she does is they're establishing, basically what they're talking about, and the first one is she doesn't know what to do. He wants to help. It's in his nature to help, but he doesn't think there is this nature. And at the same time, whenever she says, I can't help you, Eleanor will say, yo, please help me out. So she asking his better nature to do it. She calls Janet, and Janet will give her clothes, which will prove that she belongs here, even though she didn't have clothes herself. Now this is super funny because she's asking, hey, if I do my apologies, if I do a search, is it private? So Janice will say, "Oh, you want to watch porn?" So this is funny. And this show is super smart because to get a good rating, what they did was they didn't allow swearing, but then it's portrayed as people don't like swearing. So because people don't like swearing, we don't allow it, which is a genius idea. It's a really well, it's a good idea to put there. Put it like that. We got Ted Benson, who is this is super cool. Who is Ted, who is sweating and doesn't know how to react. It's not the funniest a joke, but it's kind of a fun. See, that's the thing. The humor and the good place often done the best, but they're trying, you know. So we got Shitty that come back, and Shitty literally have the work. He's trying his best to do it. He had a chalkboard, and all he wants to do is be the best person possible. And I think that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. But he's also winning the yes and no. For example, question and fears.
It's like a quality calendar shelf struck, so he knows he's just wrong about my overall quality level. Big help, man.
See. Question versus fears. Yeah, nice. So then he tests her. He's like, hey, we spent the whole day together yesterday. Do you remember something about me, right? So what he's doing is he's saying, okay, well, is there something that's worth saving? Because there has to be something good, right? And she doesn't remember anything. Again, she's sort of selfish. We see a lot of flashback. The sad part is most of the flashbacks are about Eleanor, and it's established her as the main character of the show, but established her as kind of the only character of the show, and I'm not sure I'm down with that. So it's a little bit of a problem. We're seeing flashback of how much of a shitty person she was, how she got basically kicked out of her drinking group. This is cool. We got orientation day number 2, which she says we're gonna be able to fly. And now the neighbor is saying, you know what, we should be cleaning up the street because this is disgusting, and there was an error in the system, and now the streets are all disgusting. Let's clean it. So then they're asking for volunteer. Eleanor really wants to fly, which is why it's called I Want to Fly. And he says, hey, me and Eleanor, we're more than volunteer, we want to do it. So he looks at Eleanor and is like, yo, this is your chance to prove that you're not a shitty person. So this is kind of cool because Eleanor will do it, but to a certain degree. So we have Tahani and her boyfriend Johnny, and this is cool because it's had a relationship. She is also, and this is beautiful. So Gianni doesn't belong in the good place, just like Eleanor does. And to not make a scene, he pretend like he's a monk. Like he doesn't talk. So Shitty isn't happy with Eleanor because he wants her his soulmate, and Tahani is not happy with her soulmate because he doesn't talk. So they're both pretty sad with their soulmate, and both soulmates are error in the system. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that they pictured it, they put it like that. This is cool. Ted goes to Tahani to fix it because she's one of the most moral person, but it's also established Tahani as a moral high ground. So why is that important? Well, because in a place where moral is questionable, a moral high ground would be good, right? The good place established itself as a show that makes you think. So, for example, if you had a chance to be in heaven, and if you saw people you wanted to be in heaven, ultimately speaking, Eleanor, even though she's a shitty character, you kind of care about her because she's kind of cool. And because she's kind of cool, you want her to succeed, right? So you have to get her to be liked or be saved, actually, by characters like Eleanor and like Tahani and Shitty. I'm telling you, this show is going to be complex to recap because it's a complex show. We have the couple who are super perfect and wants to clean. It's not because we feel like Red Cap. What you do is you introduce characters that live in the neighborhood that you live in. That way the neighborhood doesn't feel as important. But then you establish 6 characters in the first episode. And then you establish 8 characters in the second episode. So there's a very small cast of characters. We got Eleanor again being a shitty friend, refusing to be sacrificed to other people. And ultimately this is this is actually her as again a cruel person. And there's even a place there where she talks to a guy who wants to save the environment, and she disrespects him and she threw a coffee on the ground. So it does show how shitty she is. We got a super important scene where he explained that if he made a mistake in the design, the whole system will go down. So this is him establishing that yes, there is something that's going out. So why is that important? Why is that important? The system has to be perfect. If there's a glitch in the system, the whole system will start glitching. So you see a dog. It's like, hey, I don't think anybody has a dog here. So he gets stressed and he kicks the dog on the sun. But he realizes that somebody else has a dog. Now, he can fix the glitches. For example, he kicked the dog on the sun and he has another one. So this is also important because he is the all-powerful. He's like a god here. So whatever the solution is, it has to go through him. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Because and the whole thing about the good place is, before you learn that Johnny, or John, I'm sorry, is also in the wrong place. The whole thing is like, yo, we want her to stay, but she is fucking up the whole neighborhood. So the whole thing is a question of morals. Do you do the greatest thing for the many, or you say the person that you love? And that's a good question. Kristen Bell goes in and she's picking up garbage. So Janet, she says, hey, there's 5 minutes left for flying. And Eleanor's like, okay, well, fuck it. I want to fly. But because she fly, what happened is there's literally a storm of garbage, which is led by her flying. So she is like, you had one mission, and that mission was to clean, and you don't care. You don't care about anybody but yourself. So because she went to fly, you gave up on her, which is absolutely, absolutely phenomenal, because it just shows that it's because of her. It's because of her. This is super cool. We have Tahani. This is a really cool scene. Tahani that's trying to reconfort at the dancing, and she doesn't succeed. And she's begging John, her boyfriend, to talk. And then John goes in and he tells Michael what he wanted to tell. But the reality is he doesn't talk. Michael is just in his head, and Janu is able to say, hey man, focus, we got this. So this is comforting him, which is typical, but she doesn't hear him talk. So we have Kristen from the flashback being a shitty person, which is kind of important. She goes out, and the thing that was supposed to happen happened. She started cleaning, and the reason behind her cleaning is because she feels bad. And feeling bad morally is a great thing, because feeling bad equates to you being able to identify that you're doing something wrong, and that you have remorse for what you did. If you're not able to understand that you did something wrong, you're not able to say, and this is the best thing ever, because technically speaking, immoral, this is why the show is smart, because it makes you think. Technically speaking, I did something bad, doesn't matter what it is, right? Am I able to say sorry? I'm going to say sorry because I think it's bad. Am I able to feel bad? If I'm not able to feel bad about something I did, either I'm not having regrets, I'm not having remorse, or either I don't identify this as a bad thing. If I hurt somebody's feeling, do I feel bad about hurting their feeling, or I don't care? And this is important. So by doing this, Eleanor showed that there's remorse, and this is the one end of goodness that she was looking for to work on her, because there is hope. And this is super cool. So they go in, and this is super nice. Eleanor is asking Ten for another chance at flying, but she says no. But then we establish that one of the good things in the good place is the cup doesn't drip. So there's frozen yogurts with 1,000 flavor, which tastes of 1,000 flavor, and there's Go Cup that's the Go Cup of coffee that don't drip. So heaven is basically that, which I think is funny than the joke that they're doing. So we have the ending, and the ending is Chidi is, I'm gonna help you. They're telling Eleanor, I'm gonna help you, or at least I'm gonna try to help you, which is super nice. And then Eleanor gets to the end with Eleanor receiving a package that says, I know that you don't belong here. And yeah. Now you learn who sent the package, and it's supposed to be this great place. It's supposed to be this great club, but they fuck it up. So the person that knows that she's not in the right place is Janu. The reason he knows is because I'm not in the right place either. So that's pretty much a plot. Great show. Episode 1 and 2 in the pocket. We got 50 more. Now 50 more, this is a great thing. It's what we're gonna do is do 2% of completion. Oh yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, now what is next? Oh, I have to do the tournament. Oh shit, la merde. Anchor's so dumb. You're so fucking stupid. That's a huge mistake. No, dude. She doesn't know who I am, and she doesn't give a damn about it. 'Cause I'm just a teenager like baby. I fucked up. Triple one. Shit. For fuck's sake.
Ink.